Hello, welcome to Empty Nester 44's channel. Tonight I have kind of a random makeup haul, sharing with you things I use, things I liked, both expensive things and cheaper things that I found at the Dollar Tree, and even a couple hair products. So let's just get started, shall we? Okay, so I bought this at the Dollar Tree, and everybody was hauling these. It's the limited edition Wet n Wild Fergie eyeshadow. Oh, I had high hopes for this stuff. It's not, I mean, they're pretty colors, don't get me wrong. And yeah, they're pretty colors, but they're not very pigmented, and I really didn't like that. So I'm only out $1. Hey, it's all good. And I am going to talk about 3 different mascaras that I use. I like all 3 of these. I wear these 3 for 3 different purposes. This is kind of was my go-to. I've used this for a few years now. It's the Mary Kay Ultimate Mascara. Love this stuff, and I've used this for a few years. And it's really good. It gives you volume and length, and you know, it's not super expensive. So I love this stuff. This was a Dollar Tree find that people had been talking about, and they wear it, and it's honestly, it's not that bad. Wet n Wild Mega Wear Mascara. This is kind of my everyday mascara that I wear. If I'm not getting all dressed up, or you know, I'm just going to work, then this is what I wear. It's not bad. It was $1, you know, whatever. And then, ta-da! The holy grail of all mascaras. I just bought this while I was in California, and I fell in love. And it's the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. Seriously, like the best thing ever. And I was wearing this every day, and I decided maybe it's a little too fancy to wear to work, so now I'm just kind of wearing it for special occasions. Like, you know, right now would be a good time to have mascara on. But I already took my makeup off because it's like 2 a.m. Another product that I found, it was another Fergie Wet n Wild limited edition makeup product. It's the Come Correct Celebrity Concealer, and it's the 0.34 fluid ounce, and it's concealer, and I use this under my eyes. It's a little thick, but honestly, I really like it. I bought a beauty blender at Sephora, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, and tried to put my foundation on with it, and I didn't really like it for foundation. I have a foundation brush from Sephora that I really, really like better. But I'm using my beauty blender to kind of blend this in underneath my eyes and stuff, and I really, really like it. So if you find this product, this is really a good product. I was going to tell you what the color the color of this one, medium beige. Really like this stuff, and I use it a lot. Oh, some other things. I use the Maybelline Brow Define and Fill Duo in the blonde. I really like this. My lid came off. I don't really use that much anyway, but I think I got this at Walmart or something, or Walgreens. I don't know. It's really nice though, and so if you're looking for something a little cheaper to define your eyebrows, it's kind of a spongy brush, but it works really nice. So I would recommend that. The Wet n Wild Velvet Matte Lip Color by Fergie. Got this at the Dollar Tree. It's kind of this mauve color. I would say this is just okay. I guess my opinion is I'm not really as much into the matte stuff as I like things that have more shimmer in it. So, but it's okay. I mean, it's great for daily use. You know, it's pretty pigmented, and it's okay. So for $1, you know, why not? Also, this is the Rodial Stem Cell Cleansing Cream. This came in my June, I believe, Ipsy bag. And I have tried it a couple times. And it actually, you put a small amount onto a dry face and then rinse it. I really like this stuff. You know, I don't know if it's as good as my Philosophy stuff, but I was pleasantly surprised by this. It really left my face feeling really soft. Also, something I received in my July Ipsy bag is the Pure Correcting Primer, Illuminate and Glow. I've used this maybe 3 or 4 times, and I love it, I found out. In fact, when I'm done with my current face primer, you know, what you prime your face with before you put your foundation on, I may just try and find a full, you know, a full-sized one, because I really like this stuff. But for now, I'm using this. This is just kind of a little sample one, but it's the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer, and it's the Color Correcting Adjusting one. So it's kind of hard to tell, but it's green. And I like it okay. I mean, as far as a face primer, it's fine. But I think the Pure is just as good, and I'm wondering if it isn't even a little bit cheaper than this. So, but for now, this is what I'm using, and it's not bad. And then another thing I'm using is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation. I got this at Sephora, and I really like it. This is the R260 color, whatever that means. But I really like it with my little foundation brush that I use. It's good. It doesn't leave my face too greasy at all. It's just perfect. It's not too dry and it's not too greasy. It's more of a lighter coverage, or a medium coverage. If I want a heavier coverage foundation for some reason, then I just use my Tarte gel foundation. And then last but not least, and I know I was joking in a video, or maybe even several videos on here, about how I was never going to get a bronzer and highlighter and all that stuff. Well, once I reached VIB status in Sephora, I know you're jealous, then I got like a gift card for a free makeover. So when I was in, I believe Lincoln, I don't know, a couple months ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, I went to a Sephora, redeemed that certificate, and got a free makeover, and it was a lot of fun. Anyway, so she went ahead and used bronzer and a highlighter on me, and I loved it. And she really gave me some good advice on how to use it and all that kind of stuff. So I did end up buying the palette that she suggested and that she used, because I am a sucker for anything in Sephora. It's like these people just know I'm coming. So anyway, I ended up getting the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I actually know how to put this stuff on now, guys. It's amazing. And I will show you, and it's coming out all over the place, but I love it. Isn't that pretty? She told me with my skin tone, the best thing for me would be this middle one, the bronzer and the highlighter. I've used this one. It's not quite as good. She said if I used this one, my face would look kind of muddy, and she was right. I haven't ventured into this one. I'm thinking this one's maybe a little bit too dark for my skin tone, but I do use the medium, and I really like it. Like I said, she taught me exactly how to do it, so now I feel pretty cool. So then, as I buy this palette and I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, what brush should I use? Because I don't know. Oh, well, then she just had to jump right in and be like, oh, cool, well, there's a brush that comes specifically with this palette. You have to have it. And I was like, oh, yes, I do. So I bought it. So it's also the Kat Von D Shade and Light brush. Oh, I just now realized. Okay. Anyway. So apparently this end is for the bronzer and this end is for the highlighter. I don't even know if I've used it that way, but anyway, double-sided brush, really nice. I wish I could remember how much these were, but I don't. You know, I'm sure they were a little pricey, but anyway, how beautiful. And, you know, this will stay good for a long time as long as I clean my brush. And I clean my brushes about once a week, so we're all good. So, recommend this. Really good from Sephora. And the last thing I have to talk about is something that I was using in my hair for quite a while, and then I kind of forgot about it, and now I'm back to using it again. I have really dry hair, and frizzy curly hair, as you can tell. And so I went ahead and got this. It's the Aveda Dry Remedy Daily Moisturizing Oil. And it's really good stuff. It says, leave-in treatment, and apply 2 to 4 drops to your hands, and work through damp or dry hair from mid-lengths to ends. Do not rinse, and then style it. So that's what I do usually after I towel dry my hair. Before I blow dry my hair, I just put about 4 or 5 drops in my hand and kind of massage it mostly through the ends because that's what's dry. This was recommended to me by my best friend who used to be a hairdresser. She worked at Aveda and is no longer with us. But anyway, good stuff. People have used essential oils. I'm sure tea tree oil is a really good oil to use in your hair. So good stuff. I recommend this. I don't remember how much this was, but I'm sure it wasn't cheap because Aveda isn't cheap, but Aveda is good products. I also use the Aveda Smooth Infusion shampoo, and I really, really like it. And I also have an Aveda Intensive Treatment hair conditioner, I believe, that I use when I wash my hair. That's really good too. So that's really all I have for tonight. Just kind of going through some things that I've bought in the recent past and whether I like them or not and what I use on a regular basis. So my poor hair, I'm getting it cut and colored tomorrow, and this is probably going to be the first time in 10, 11, 12, I don't know, in so many years that somebody else has done my hair. So I am not quite sure how I am going to handle it. I had my hair cut and colored in April, so it's been a while, and it's really, really growing out, as you can see. I'm sure if we looked close enough, we could see my grays. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to handle that tomorrow. I'm probably going to be a mess in the chair, but it's been a rough few months, and I guess I'll talk about it a little bit, but my best friend died at the end of May. And, it was something that we knew was coming on, and, it is what it is, and it's life, and I spent a whole lot of time with her at the end. I mean, I pretty much almost just devoted my life to taking care of her on my days off. And so that was really, really hard. But this was different because you know somebody and they died. Maybe it was very quickly or a slow death, and maybe you don't see them. Maybe you didn't see them for a while before they died, and then you go and see them in their casket, and that's that. And this is different, though, because I had never personally taken care of somebody who suffered. And it was really, really difficult. I mean, I tried so hard to keep it together. And I did really, really well at, like maybe the last week or so. Otherwise, I would just go over there and see her and cry. Just cry and cry. But I got better. And, you get to the point when you're with somebody at the end of their life that you don't want to see them suffer anymore. And I don't mean to say that you wish them to die, because nobody ever wishes them to die, but you don't want to see them suffer anymore. And I got to that point. And the fact was that in the end, like the last 3 or 4 days, she wasn't Shelly anyway. I mean, she didn't look anything like her. She didn't act like her. She was confused. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. And so that's, it is what it is. Like I said, it's life. And I've never dealt with this before, but there was a peace that came over me when she passed away, and I was there, and the family was all in bed, and I sat up with her, and I noticed that it was getting closer, so I went and woke up her kids and all of that stuff, and they came out and got to see her take her last breaths. And it's crazy to say, but it's a beautiful thing, and I was just so relieved not to see her suffer anymore. Nobody should ever have to go through that. Nobody should ever have to live that or love somebody like that. It's very, very difficult. So with that being said, tomorrow I think is going to be really difficult for me to get my hair done, but I'm going to get through it and just think about her, and which I do every day, and just glad that now she's somewhere that she doesn't have to suffer anymore, because I love her dearly. And I guess I got a little off track from the makeup, but the hair oil, that's what That's what brought me back. So anyway, have a good night. That's all I've got for the makeup. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo, and pity party. And I guess next time I film a video, I should probably have much better looking hair. So have a good night. We'll see you in the next video.